As I continue to consider what I'm going to revise about the textbook I wrote to teach homeschoolers world history, a Bible believer looks at world history. Let's begin where I left off yesterday. I want to continue to talk about Assyria. I have much more to say about Assyria, a very important superpower of the ancient world. Another reason why the Assyrians were hated was that they practiced moving conquered peoples. And this is not something they invented, but something they used quite well. They resettled conquered people from rebellious communities in other places, often in the heartland of Assyria itself. It's estimated by Snell in his Life in the Ancient Near East that nearly 5 million people were forcibly moved in 3 centuries, most in the period between 745 and 647 BC. This tactic might have worked for a short while, but in the long run created patches of extreme anti Assyrian hatred within Assyria. Assyrians may have seen themselves as a civilized people against the world, and yet they did not seem to constitute a self conscious ethnic group. There was, though, a military elite and military families who took pride in their martial history and conquest. In an earlier Assyrian period, called Middle Assyrian by scholars, women were treated oppressively and even wore veils to keep them hidden from all but male relatives, in a mirror of today's Islamic custom. Women often were heads of families when widowed by war, but were not involved in the legal system, it would seem, from the record. Prostitution flourished, however, and prostitutes who owned taverns were called alewives and loaned money like a modern bank. Now, Usher has Rome being founded in 748 BC. 5 years later than traditional historians. He reports the founding of it by the legendary Romulus of Romulus and Remus fame, two boys raised by a she-wolf, which became a very potent symbol in ancient Rome. He quotes the earliest of Roman writers, Fabian Pictor, for this information. His dating of the event is derived from the accounts of the secular games held faithfully by the ancient Romans. The Roman poet Virgil later wrote an epic poem called the Aeneid, which declared that Aeneas, a refugee from the city of Troy, founded Rome, giving the Trojans revenge on the Greeks when Rome conquered that civilization. Now, I still have a lot to say about Assyria and the cultures around it, but I'm going to stop for now and pick it up the next time. And I hope if you watch this video, you'll click like. Thank you.